Mermaid, if you do not like this movie, you're committing terrorism for not liking this movie. Okay? It originally used to be, oh my god, how dare you not like The Last Jedi? How dare you not like Captain Marvel? How dare you have your own opinions? They have to change all the review sites to make sure review bombing doesn't happen. The imaginary fear of review bombing because they can't accept that people don't like things. And yes, sometimes it is ridiculous, like Miss Marvel. No one went to go see it, but apparently, so many people gave it 1 stars, even though they probably have never seen Miss Marvel. Okay, but I think that is a problem. I think if you haven't seen it, why are you giving it a rating? It was just Cuties, and Cuties deserves almost 1 star ratings because it promotes, you know what that movie promoted. But if you do not like the Little Mermaid remake, okay, you are a terrorist. Okay, you are a terrorist. Okay, if you do not like the Little Mermaid remake. Okay, which a lot of people do not. But you can't express those opinions on these review sites. On IMDb, they just delete your review because it's too negative to keep the score a 7 out of 10. Or they'll hide it on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay? And Redbox, I don't think anyone really uses Redbox outside of like film buffs. Okay? But Metacritic is the only place where you can really voice your opinion about the Little Mermaid remake. Okay? So yeah, the Little Mermaid remake. And I can't wait for people to make their own review sites. I think, a bunch of people online should make their own review sites that are not biased, that will not be bought and paid for by Disney, okay, and big companies, okay, and allow people to express their opinions. I think the people should make their own review site that isn't owned by anyone, because people are just going to be going to Metacritic to express their disopinion, because people will be having the, reviews hidden by Rotten Tomatoes, the reviews being deleted by IMDb for being too negative. Okay, when does it end? Why don't we just make our own review site? Okay, I'm not a coding person, so I cannot tell you. Yes. I think that this was a response to the Cleopatra movie, a response to, the negative reviews of Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, because they know if people don't like something, okay, that no one's going to buy it, no one's going to care, okay? This movie is a soulless cash grab, okay? 5 out of 5 people found my review helpful because this is what this movie is. It's soulless, bad acting, a way worse version of the Little Mermaid, even though we have like 10 Little Mermaid movies. Okay, bad characters, and Aquafina was annoying. Yes, he was annoying. I'll give it 1 star because there was 2 funny scenes. That's it. Other than it's just cringe, and this movie is too dark like Ant-Man. Like the final fight is awful because you really cannot see it. You really cannot watch the final fight scene because Disney does not know how to write movies correctly. Okay? At least make it where the characters are visible. Okay? And that's the problem of these live action remakes. Okay? Is that they're too real. Okay? That you can't see the characters. You can't see, But again, it didn't matter in something like Avatar the Way of the Water. Okay? Or in other movies. Because they turned it up so the characters can be seen. Okay? But if you do not like this movie, just remember, you're a terrorist. You're a racist. You are a sexist. If you dare voice any criticism of the Little Mermaid remake because they race swapped Ariel, that is the reason why they made Ariel black. Because Disney knew that if you criticized the Little Mermaid remake, that they would have all of the Twitter bots after you. They would have the SDWs after you. They would have the woke far left after you. And they would have all these, groups after you if you voice your opinion against this. But gladly, normal people are finally waking up to realize that the Disney remakes are unnecessary and awful. Again, this movie is projected to lose $100 million. Okay, and yeah, I have an update Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll update that next week with all the other movies. Same thing with Mario. as well as past Frozen, which is good because Frozen's garbage. Okay, but the Little Mermaid movie is currently at a negative $450 million. Okay, Fast X is not that doing that. It's not doing that much better at negative $350 million, but Fast X is struggling domestically. It's doing okay overseas, but struggling domestically. I don't think Fast X is gonna make any money either, because they spent too much money on the movie. Okay, Fast X is gonna be because they spent too much money on the movie. The Little Mermaid, it's because the movie is awful. It's crap. No one wants to see this movie. Okay, especially internationally. So we have the weekly box office performance, the daily box office performance update for this movie. The movie didn't even hit 120 million like they were saying it will. So that means people were smart enough not to even give it to 120 million. Okay, this movie is flopping very hard. We can compare it to Aladdin, another really bad movie. It's actually doing exactly the same as Aladdin. Of course, if you unadjust the numbers for inflation. If you adjust it for inflation, it's doing way worse than Aladdin. It is 16 million behind Aladdin. And I bet that number is going to get worse and worse and worse for The Little Mermaid as it goes on, because this movie is complete awful. It's complete dog shit. And the thing is, Spider-Verse is coming out next week. Oh, wait, this week. Spider-Verse is coming out in 2 days. Okay? You think this movie is going to hold? You think that this is going to hold? Okay, let's put in Quantumania. Okay? Quantumania is actually doing way worse than Little Mermaid remake. Okay? It is not going to perform like Quantumania domestically. It'll perform like it internationally. It'll be even worse internationally. It's even worse internationally than Quantumania. Quantumania at least had a good opening internationally. Okay? To deficit for the bad domestic growth. But only $68 million made internationally. No one watched it in China. Which means no one is going to see this movie. Okay? No one is going to see this movie. But, if you now criticize the Little Mermaid remake, if you now criticize Big Disney, you are considered a terrorist. You are considered, a horrible person if you now criticize Disney's remakes. If you now criticize Disney at all. Okay? If you dare criticize the work Disney has done for social justice and has done for society to make society, quote unquote, advance. Okay? And no one gives a shit anymore. Okay? All this woke stuff that is going on, you have Chick-fil-A, you have all of these companies, there's too much to talk about. Okay? Everything woke is going to set. It's to be destroyed. You have Bud Light, Target, you have, clothing brands even facing boycott, because we're getting to the point where people have had enough. Okay? People have had enough of wokeness. People want to buy products and want stuff to be normal again. And it's that hard for California to understand that all 193 countries and all other 49 states do not want to abide by San Francisco and LA. Okay? The rest of the world, which is being called far right now. Okay, why the far right is talking in big box store? Oh yeah, the world is boycotting Target. The world. I guess, the world is far right now. Okay, and that's what they did try to get you. That's what they try to get you. They said, if you disagree with, all this stuff, they'll call you far right. But it's basically the equivalent of them calling you a Nazi. Okay? And then we have Chick-fil-A. Okay? Now, far right nutters want to boycott Chick-fil-A. Oh, yeah. Because Chick-fil-A, if you do not know the whole thing of Chick-fil-A, they hired a person to promote diversity. Okay? Even though companies should be hiring people based off how well they could do. Okay? How well they could do at their job. Okay? Hiring someone for diversity is racism, because you're hiring based off the color of their skin and their gender. Okay? You're not hiring based off of quality. Okay? You're hiring based off of racism. Okay? That's what they're doing with Chick-fil-A. And I could make a whole separate video for this, Because it's completely ridiculous that they're doing this. Okay? And then we have the more recent one with Blizzard and Overwatch 2. If Overwatch 2 wasn't already a disaster, okay, which, again, for people who are still playing Overwatch 2, well, now they're shoving down woke politics down your throats. Okay? When no one is playing Overwatch 2 anyways, where it means it's a non-story. Okay? No one playing Overwatch 2. Okay? I bet half the player base left after they realized the PvE is never coming. Okay? After that Blizzard and the fucking, dumbasses lied to our faces about PvE being in Overwatch 2. Okay? Again, California telling the rest of the world what to do. Because it's really California telling the rest of the world what to do. Okay? Because Blizzard's based out of California. Disney's based out of California. I think Chick-fil-A is based out of Georgia. Okay? But all these companies are buying to California, to what California wants, which is stupid. Okay? Why do we have to abide by California? Okay? Why does the world have to abide to what California wants? Okay? To what Oregon wants. Okay? I think it's both California, Oregon, and Portland. Okay? Portland, New York, these liberal states. Why does the world have to bow down to California, essentially? Okay? And Overwatch 2 is going to continue to die. No, do people even play Overwatch 2 anymore? Probably not. Okay? And now, if you do not like the Little Mermaid remake, you're a terrorist. Okay? And if you do not like Overwatch 2, they're going to call you far right. Okay? Even though Blizzard screwed up Overwatch 2. Okay? So we have Overwatch 2 here. Overwatch 2 has been slowly going down. It did get increased, but it has reached to a lowest of 21,000. I don't even think the original Overwatch did as badly as Overwatch 2. Okay? Overwatch 2 is already reaching a new level of low. Because people are creating and uninstalling Overwatch 2 all very quickly. Okay? The streamers are also going away from Overwatch 2. With a new record low of 1.5 average. And that was for April. Imagine May, when Blizzard basically admitted that PvE is gone. And them forcing politics down people's throats. Well, Overwatch 2 isn't going to do all too well. Okay? Another example of a failed game. And sorry, the amount of Kuriko Alpha 34 isn't going to save Overwatch 2. Sorry, Blizzard. Overwatch 2 is dead. So the end of wokeness. I think we're finally starting to see normal people fed up with wokeness. Okay? Maybe it's by about time the average person, not just in America, globally, is done with it. Because globally, people are done with wokeness. Okay? People are done with it. Okay? No one went to go see the Little Mermaid remake in theaters globally. No one is going to see it because nobody cares. Okay? You have even countries like South Africa and Mexico and Brazil don't want to see it. India doesn't want to see the Little Mermaid remake. China doesn't want to see the Little Mermaid remake. Okay? No one wants to see the Little Mermaid remake. Okay? No one. Okay? No one. Okay? And that's my this video here. Goodbye.